Are you crazy? Or are you just mad?
Hello. Welcome to the Mad Musicians Against Depression podcast, where we discuss the latest news, research and hot topics surrounding mental health. I'm Thomas Maher, and I'm joined in studio by my beautiful co-host, award-winning singer, songwriter and presenter, Indiraa.
Hi there, everybody.
We're back. Everybody, we're back for another episode of the Mad Pod podcast. And of course, again, I am with my beautiful co-host, Indiraa.
Have you been to Specsavers lately?
No, why? You think I should?
Yeah, I think you should.
Because I said you were beautiful?
Yeah.
But I'm allowed to tell lies on my own podcast. No, you are, of course, you're beautiful. You're charming,
inside
enigmatic.
and out.
Absolutely, inside and out. Fantastic. So, how is everybody? We're back again, and yes, we're delighted to be here for another episode. We're going to discuss we're going to bring to you some latest news and research in the world of mental health, and we're delighted to do so. I've got two topics I'm going to read off, and Indira's got two of her own. So, Indira, what have you got for us today?
I've got...
What are your two topics?
Affection deprivation and languishing.
And languishing. Well, and I've got two myself, so I'm going to start with one right here. And this one is called Understanding the Relationship Between Our Sleep, Body Clock and Mental Health. I think this is very good, right?
Very
it's appropriate, because I'm an insomniac myself, so I know all about that. It's improved over the years, but it's not fantastic. But
no, I've had moments when things have gone wrong that I've had a lot of issues as well.
If your mind is not at ease, of course, you're not going to sleep very well, is it?
No.
So let's crack on with this. Okay, so problems with our sleep and internal body clock can trigger or worsen a range of psychiatric disorders, according to new recent research evidence. The review, published today, 19th of February, Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences, PNSA, suggests gaining a better understanding of the relationship between sleep, circadian rhythms and mental health could unlock new holistic treatments to alleviate mental health problems. Sleep circadian disturbances are the rule rather than the exception across every category of psychiatric disorders, says Dr. Sarah L. Shalapa. Why do I get all these weird names, these hard to pronounce names that I'm doing?
That's because they
can I just make them up?
I think
I can just make them up, I think. We'll go, anyway, this is what she's called for today. From the University of Southampton, senior author of the review. Sleep disturbances such as insomnia, which I know well about, are well understood in the development and maintenance of psychiatric disorders, but our understanding of circadian disturbances lags behind. It is important to understand how these factors interact so we can develop and apply sleep circadian interventions that benefit the sleep and mental health symptoms of patients. An international team of research, if you don't mind, from the University of Southampton, King's College London, Stanford University and other institutions explored recent evidence on sleep and circadian factors, focusing on adolescents and young adults with psychiatric disorders. This is a time when people are most at risk of developing mental health disorders, agreed, and when disruption to sleep and circadian rhythms are likely to occur. Insomnia is more common in people with mental health disorders than in general population, during remission, acute episodes, and especially in early psychosis, where difficulty falling and staying asleep affects overall half of individuals. Around a quarter to a third of people with mood disorders have both insomnia and hyperinsomnia, where patients find it hard to sleep at night but are sleepier in the daytime. Similar proportions of people with psychosis experience this combination of sleep disorders. Meanwhile, the few studies looking at circadian rhythm sleep wake disorders, CRSWD, suggest that 32% of patients with bipolar disorder go to sleep and wake later than usual, a condition called delayed sleep-wake phase disorder. Maybe we swap depression for bipolar? Sounds like a better deal.
Yeah, it's a better deal, isn't it? At least we get to sleep.
Yeah, get to sleep, exactly, yeah. Okay. Body clock processes such as endogenous cortisol rhythms have been reported to run 7 hours ahead during manic episodes and 4 to 5 hours behind during the depressive phase. Timing is normalized upon successful treatment. What are the mechanisms? The researchers examined the possible mechanisms behind sleep circadian disturbances in psychiatric disorders. During adolescence, physiological changes in how we sleep combine with behavioural changes such as staying up later, getting less sleep on school nights and sleeping in on weekends. That's something I wish I could do, sleeping on
None
weekends.
of us ever sleep in on weekends.
Not even when I was younger did I do that. But that was by choice. I was always kind of hyperactive kid.
I was out training and first thing in the morning.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, but I wouldn't mind doing that now actually, to be honest. Okay. Dr. Nicholas Maher, he's not related to me, by the way. He's Maher. I'm Maher. He's Maher.
Yeah, I think you made yours up. I think Maher sounds...
I think I'll change mine to Maher. Maher. I can become the mayor of Borehamwood. No?
I don't know.
Right, okay. Dr. Nicholas Maher
I once
from
had
Kingston.
my bum pinched by a mayor.
Did you?
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't Thomas Maher, that's for sure.
No, that wasn't.
All right. Okay, Dr. Thomas. Dr. Nicholas Maher from King's College London, who co-led the review, said, "This variability in the duration and timing of sleep can lead to a misalignment between our body clock and our sleep-wake rhythms, can increase the risk of sleep disturbances and adverse mental health outcomes." Researchers also looked at the role of genes, exposure to light, neuroplasticity, and other possible factors. Those with a genetic predisposition towards a reduced change in activity levels between rest and wake phases are more likely to experience depression, mood, instability, and neuroticism.
Why do they have such big words in these articles?
I don't know. I'm trying my best to pronounce these things. This is where the links are there for everybody to look back over there. They could probably think, this guy cannot read, he can't spell, he can hardly talk.
He doesn't even know his own name is Maher. He'd think he's Maher.
Yeah. What is this guy? He must be on strings in that studio. Okay. Population level surveys show self-reported time outdoors was associated with a lower probability of mood disorder. Sleep is thought to play a key role in how the brain forms new neural connections and processes emotional memories. New treatments. Dr. Rensak Locke, from Stanford University, who co-led the review, said, "Targeting sleep and the circadian risk factors presents the opportunity to develop new preventive measures and therapies. Some of these are population-level considerations, such as the timing of school and work days or changes in the built-in environment to optimize light exposure. Others are personalized interventions tailored to individual circadian parameters. Cognitive behavioral therapy for insomnia, CBTI, has been shown to reduce anxiety and depressive symptoms as well as trauma symptoms in people experiencing PTSD. In unipolar and bipolar depression, light therapy delivered on rising in the morning was effective compared with a placebo. Using it in combination with medication was also more effective than using medication alone. Other findings suggest light is effective in treating perinatal depression. The timing of medication, meals and exercise could also impact circadian phases. Taking melatonin in the evening can help people with delayed sleep-wake phase disorder to shift their body clock forward towards a more conventional sleep pattern and may have beneficial effects in comorbid psychiatric disorders. Night shift work can adversely affect mental health, but eating in the daytime rather than during the night could help. Oh God, that rules us out then.
Oh God.
What time do we normally eat? 8, half 8?
No, 7:30.
Not always, sometimes
Not
later.
always, yeah. 8 o'clock on...
But anyway, it's not, they're recommending here during the daytime. Okay. Rather than during the could help. With research showing daytime eating prevents mood impairment. Okay. The review also points to innovative multi-component interventions such as transdiagnostic intervention for sleep and circadian dysfunction, TRANS-C. This combines modules that addresses different aspects of sleep and circadian rhythms into a sleep health framework that applies to a range of mental health disorders. Dr. Shalapa said, collectively, research into mental health is poised to take advantage of extraordinary advances in sleep and circadian science and translate these into improved understanding and treatment of psychiatric disorders. Wow. I think I got through that.
You did, actually. I think you need a PhD to understand.
I think I need to sleep. Like sleeping.
You don't need any melatonin today.
No, not with any melatonin. I think I'll try something else. Though that is interesting, obviously, from someone that's... I've been insomniac from a kid, but I've learned to deal with that. I survive sometimes in 4 hours sleep. A bit like Maggie Thatcher did back in the day. The only difference is she was
Prime Minister.
Prime Minister. I'm not. But we still function pretty well. But I know what it's like. It's very difficult because I've got a very creative, overactive mind.
She's also a woman and you're a man. That's another difference.
You sure about that?
Not really, but never mind.
All right. So there you go. So anyone interested in reading that article, of course, anyone suffers from insomnia, the links, of course, will be posted at the end in the show notes, so you can go read that yourself and maybe try and transcribe it a little bit better than I did.
Can you call in and just tell us what it's all about?
Yeah, can you call in and tell us what it's like? Exactly. See if you can do a better job than I did. But please forgive me. You know, I am
Irish?
No,
I have to say, I'm fascinated by his accent. It's amazing. I mean, I'm Indian. I shouldn't really say anything.
Good retort. You're lucky there now you came back with that.
I tell you what, we're covering most things being Indian.
Covering our arses, it sounds like. Okay, on that note, Indira, you've got a topic for us?
Yeah. I was very tempted to swap the order of my topics, but I won't. Because it was kind of linked into yours, but I won't. It's today's topic for me is affection deprivation. Now we all need a hug, and I know for sure I do. And when I'm on my own sometimes, and one of my dogs, and I have 7 by the way, around me, I'm always saying, "Come close to me, Ella. I need a cuddle. Beyonce, give me cuddles." We all need affection. So on that note, I'm going to start. Affection deprivation refers to an inadequacy of emotional warmth, care, and nurturing in one's life, particularly in interpersonal relationships. It occurs when individuals do not receive the necessary level of affection, behaviors such as physical touch, verbal expressions of love, emotional support, or acts of kindness that they need from others. One can experience such deprivation in various contexts, including family relationships, friendship, romantic partnerships, and even in broader social interactions. Here are 2 psychological consequences of affection deprivation, according to research. Firstly, it can gradually erode your mental health. A 2021 study published in the Journal of Social and Personal Relationships examined the long-term effects of affection deprivation during the COVID-19 pandemic and found that it was associated with stress, deprivation, and loneliness, which is linked to a higher risk of mortality. Now, that affection deprivation can trigger negative beliefs about oneself, and I can actually vouch for this, such as feeling unlovable, unwanted, undeserving of affection. These negative self-perceptions often promote feelings of loneliness and depression as individuals struggle to cultivate a sense of self-worth or fulfill the fundamental human need to belong. Affectionate gestures and social support are also important coping tools in times of stress and adversity. Just a small little gesture. It doesn't hurt anyone, does it?
Of course not.
The absence of supportive, affectionate relationships can also accelerate existing psychological conditions and make a person more vulnerable to them. A 2022 study published in the Personal Relationships found that receiving personally appropriate levels of affection supports better health across the board. In fact, even excessive levels of affection were associated with lower depression, lower loneliness, physical pain, and higher sleep quality. Oh, there you go. With deficient levels of affection were not. Depriving oneself of the opportunity to be affectionate towards others may also take its toll on our mental health. Research suggests that expressing affection to others enhances our own happiness and our self-esteem. It helps us get over our fear of intimacy and makes us less susceptible to depression. Now, I know some people who can actually never express affection, or they just keep it all so tight.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm exactly the opposite.
That's right, yeah.
I mean, I don't like also this new way of love you to everybody. I don't love everyone. I like them. I sometimes don't even like them, but I can't just yell I love you to everyone.
Yeah, I know. You just can't get yourself to do it because you don't mean it.
And it's like, have a nice day. And you think, you actually don't care what day I have. Anyway, the second one is it can affect your love life. Affection deprivation can cause individuals to experience a lower sense of security in love and withdraw from social interactions due to the fear of rejection and doubts about their ability to emotionally connect with others. It also creates emotional distance between couples without regularly expressions of love and support. Partners may feel disconnected from one another, which can lead to misunderstandings and conflict. In fact, a lack of affection is linked to a lower marital quality, emotional intimacy, and a lower level of relational satisfaction and closeness. That is true, actually.
Yep.
Yeah.
100%.
There's nothing worse than being in a cold relationship. Affectionate behaviors such as hugs, kisses, and words of affirmation help to build trust and security in relationships. We're going on to 2023 study. Published in Scientific Reports, even asserts that affectionate touch is an essential component of loving relationships. When individuals do not receive affection, they may feel uncertain about their partner's feelings and intentions. Individuals may also feel unfulfilled or neglected, leading to frustration and anger towards their partner. However, expressing and receiving affection can enhance one's level of investment and commitment into a relationship. For instance, research shows that receiving affection can influence one's perceptions of a relationship, the transgressions by lowering their perceived severity and feelings of hurt and rumination after such events. I can understand that. All things considered, addressing affection deprivation in your life is crucial. Here are some ways to navigate detrimental effects. Firstly, practice self-compassion. It's important to acknowledge feelings of affection deprivation rather than trying to ignore them. Understanding the toll that it takes on your mental and emotional health is the first step of addressing it. Reflect on any negative self-perceptions that accompany these feelings and practice more balanced, positive self-talk to counter the inner narrative. The second one is seek support. Addressing affection deprivation requires fostering supportive and nurturing relationships, both with oneself and with others. This may include actively pursuing opportunities for social connections, seeking therapy to address underlying emotional issues, and learning to express and receive affection in healthy ways. Building connections with others can also mitigate feelings of loneliness and isolation. Yeah, you need to go out there and meet more people if you're isolated as well.
So many issues with depression and anxiety all boil back to non-social, interpersonal, that
relationships,
that connection, social connection with people. A lot of it is down to that.
You'll also find certain people. I'll add this in is the fear of looking a person in the face when they talk. You see them look above your head or look somewhere else, and it comes from being either shy or diffident.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, someone very close to me is extremely confident and successful, but is not very good at articulating how they feel, or even when they talk to people, they tend not to look at them. And I've always wondered whether people take this wrong or think that they're not being nice. But knowing the person the way I do understand that is not the person at all.
Because obviously you know the person, but other people may not see
but
that.
Most people wouldn't. If you look the other way when you're talking to them, or you never say how you feel, or it's a tough one. Well, communicate your needs. Go on to say, express your need for affection to those close to you. Tell them you want a hug. Let them know how their actions or lack thereof affect you and what you need from them to feel truly loved and supported. Practice self-care. Now, engage in activities that promote your well-being, such as exercise, meditation, creating a meal you love, or spending time in nature. Taking care of yourself is a form of self-love that is essential in the face of affection deprivation. Cultivate gratitude for the love and support you do receive, however small this may be. Healing from affection deprivation can take time. It can take effort. Be patient with yourself as you navigate these emotions and work towards building healthier, more fulfilling relationships. Remember that you are deserving of love and deserving of affection, and that you have the power to create positive change in your life. Affection deprivation can leave you feeling lonely. Even in a romantic relationship, you could be lonely. Take a test to find out how deeply it may actually affect you. Loneliness in intimate relationship scale. I will mention a little something here. It's about Mark Travers, PhD, and an American psychologist with degrees from Cornell University, and I never got in there, I did try, and the University of Colorado, Boulder.
Try there as well?
No, I didn't. He is the lead psychologist at Awake Therapy, a telehealth company that provides video and telephone psychotherapy, counseling, and coaching individuals in 40 countries worldwide, which is why I wanted to mention it. He's also a curator of popular mental health and wellness websites. It's called therapytips.org.
Okay, that's good.
So there you go.
We can put that in the show notes as well. You said there's a test that people can take.
Yeah, you can take a test as well.
Is that there online that we can publish that as well?
Yep, hang on a sec. Let me see. Loneliness in Intimate Relationship Scale.
So it's a scale. Is that actually on the article?
I will have to get back on that one.
So if it's there, folks, we'll include it in the show notes.
Yeah.
So you guys can, if you're interested, to actually take that test. So we'll put that up there with the show notes and with the article as well. So that's a very interesting article, Indiraa.
I do like that. Yeah,
I think for me that's one of the most important ones, because I think affection deficit is one of the biggest causes of anxiety and depression in people. Because it's rampant. During the COVID, when I worked for the Royal Responders, when I was doing the remote calls for that, most of the people I spoke to during the pandemic, most of the issues because they were lonely. And obviously loneliness, you can meet 100 people and still be lonely. The various reasons for a lot of people. But just, I could say, just wanted a hug, just wanted to talk to somebody. Somebody give them that to wrap their arms around them and say to them, like, you know what, you're not alone. I'm here with you, you know, and give them a hug. So it's a human need, and it's very, very important.
And the anxiety levels went up with during that time because of the lack of communication, and the anger levels go up. Because do you remember one time we were out grocery shopping for the farm, and someone just snapped at us about something.
Yes, there was a lot of frustration during that time.
And we had no idea what had happened. So it's the anxiety as well, and there's a lack of communication is where I was coming from with this. All you have to do really when things are wrong is communicate, but it is hard.
Well, it is, because during the pandemic, because obviously this was the period of time we were talking about, a lot of people agreed with it. There's also a lot of people that didn't agree with what was going on. So you had a lot of frustration, a lot of disagreements, a lot of people, the politics of it, you know, mask wearing, to keep your distance type of thing. Some people agreed, some people didn't. So you can imagine, during all the frustration of everything else that was going on, you've been asked to abide by things that maybe didn't necessarily agree to or didn't want to do, and lining up and queuing for shopping, and then people obviously storming in and filling their baskets with stuff and the empty shelves. So a lot of stuff going on. But obviously with that, there was a lot of social disconnect. a lot of, you couldn't go to...
It was difficult.
Basically, you couldn't really go across to your neighbour's house. You'd stand 3 meters apart, and clubs and pubs and restaurants were shut down for a large period of that time. So a lot of problems. So, and that's relates to that. That's why we always talk about social connect and, feeling wanted and feeling needed and just giving someone a hug. So, I mean, that was my experience during that time. It was many people were just very lonely, felt isolated.
Which was, in our case, we were very fortunate living on literally like a commune, on a farm.
You took in lots of people during that time.
I mean, we were at a given time 10 people living on the property, and we were isolated in a way, but at the same time we had each other.
Yes, right. We gave ourselves that social connection.
I think we dealt with the whole thing very well because of that.
Well, we knew how to do it. That was the thing. We knew that was an important aspect.
We had the tools, really.
We had a toolbox, exactly, to do it. Yeah. And that's important. For those people who obviously didn't have it, it was a very tough period of time for them. So that was a very good article. I really enjoyed that because that resonates with a lot of people, I think. So, folks, going back to the album, the Mad 2024, the compilation album, obviously it's on release now. It was released on March 31st over the bank holiday weekend. So it's available now to obviously purchase online from Spotify, Apple Music, Google Music. All those major streaming platforms have it. And of course, there's many, many others you can get it from. And of course, you can go straight to the Mad Musicians Against Depression official website. You can look it up there. You can check all the links that it's available to buy or stream, whatever you want. So that's there. So we're, each week, obviously, until we get to the 8 tracks, there's 8 tracks on the album, and each week we're going to play one track from the album. This week, we're going to play a song that was written by 2 mechanics, friends of mine. They were from Pinner. They are from Pinner. It was during COVID, and basically we got together during that period of time, and Kevin Langford is the writer of the song, and he is a mechanic, and he came and he said, look, he had this track he was working on and he wanted me to hear it. I said, yeah, come to the studio. So he came down one day, I listened to it, and he came with Carlos, who was his partner in the business, and they played a song to him, and I thought, wow, this is a fantastic track. He's playing acoustic guitar. I said, we got to record this. And so we did, and it's really one of the best tracks. I call it a one-hit wonder because they did this track and literally never did music again after that, because unfortunately the kind of circumstances, they didn't do music after that. But sadly, we got to finish it, produce it. Obviously, I produced the song and composed the music for it. And here it is, and it's on the album. So here's a song off this album, as I think it's number 4 on the album, I think, or number 4 or 5. And it's called Angel by My Side, and the guys called themselves the Grafters because they really were. So listen to this song. I hope you enjoy it.
Night. days are gone, the emptiness, and I don't know what to do. Every night I just lay awake, and I can't stop thinking of you. All I have are these memories of the angel I once knew. Angel, oh angel, where have you gone to? You're the only woman I've ever loved. 'Cause I remember when we used to talk through the night. Angel, oh angel, where have you gone to? You're the only woman I've ever loved, I've ever loved, I've ever loved, I've ever loved.
Wow.
Oh, I
What a
love
song.
that. I think I'm going to cry.
Kevin Langford, Carlos Hunnes, The Grafters, Angel by My Side. That is one of the best songs that I've ever done in this studio.
Oh my God, that is
The innocence
so lovely.
of the song. Imagine someone comes in with an acoustic guitar, says, I've got a song, you want to hear it? Say, yeah, go for it. And then we end up producing something like that. Fabulous song. Absolutely fabulous song.
Love it.
Yeah. So well done, guys. And that's obviously on the Mad 2024 album, which is obviously on sale
Well
now.
done, boys.
Well done, guys. Okay, so I've got another article, and this article is by Michael Mosley. Anybody know Michael Mosley? Is he the chef or something? Is he? What is it? Michael Mosley something got to do? He's somebody, I don't know, he's a personality anyway. So anyway, Michael Mosley says a 5p pill fights colds, dementia and depression. For 5p. Okay. We need to read about this and we need to learn about it, explore it. Here we go. All right. Millions of people are suffering health problems because of a winter difficulty that can be solved with a cheap pill readily available in chemists and supermarkets, according to health expert Dr. Michael Mosley. There you go, he's a health expert.
Oh, but
I knew he was somebody.
But
And I think
my.
yeah, he is somebody. He's Mr. Mosley.
Of course he is.
Yeah. All right. Speaking in his Just One Thing podcast. Okay, he's Just One Thing podcast. I must send him a link to listen to us. On Radio 4, Dr. Mosley discussed the common problem with Dr. David Llewellyn from the University of Exeter. Was a problem with Dr. Llewellyn?
No, why are you back on Exeter? We had
Okay,
another one
all
from
right.
Exeter.
Okay. Eating is wrong. Eating the right foods often won't be enough to ward off problems, according to Dr. Mosley. He said, although you'll find vitamin D in fatty fish and to a much lesser extent in eggs, it's really hard to get just enough in your diet. And so supplements are the way to go. The guidance in the UK is that everyone should consider taking a daily supplement containing 10 micrograms or 400 international units, UIs, of vitamin D, particularly during the winter months. You take vitamin D?
Yes, I do.
Because I give it to you, that's why.
Of course. Don't forget, I come from a country where I need it more than everyone else.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, so Dr. Mosley said the simple pill has a range of health benefits, from keeping bones strong to boosting the immune system and improving brain health. He said, since its discovery in the 1920s, okay, let's come back a while, vitamin D's best known role is keeping bones healthy by increasing our body's absorption of calcium. That's why rickets, which used to be very common, is so rare now. Crickets or rickets?
Rickets.
Oh, crickets.
Yeah,
I love crickets, but not rickets. Okay.
No, rickets
Okay.
it's very it's horrible to
yeah.
watch kids
Oh,
with
good, no.
rickets. Yeah.
Okay. He added, research shows that people taking vitamin D supplements are less likely to get the common cold, and it also reduces how long infection lasts. Vitamin D is essential for activating your T cells, a key part of your immune system. If your vitamin D levels are low, then your body will be less effective at fighting off infection. If you get ill, vitamin D will speed up recovery, Dr. Mosley said. Scientists have discovered that vitamin D also serves as an anti-inflammatory function after an infection, helping dampen down your immune system. This is key to reducing chronic inflammation, which is linked to a whole host of negative health outcomes. I don't usually recommend supplements, but I do make an exception for this one, Dr. Mosley said. Right.
Right.
What do you think
So
of that?
I think that's important because honestly, I grew up in India, as you know, and when I came here, I found it was 32 years ago, and I remembered saying the thing I miss the most is seeing the sun when I wake up and seeing the sun when I go back to bed.
Mm-hmm.
And it was the need for the sunshine, for the vitamin D, for the, that I was missing.
Yes.
And I used to say, I don't like to wake up and not see the sun.
Yeah. Well, generally, I mean, of course, the last thing you want to see is an overcast sky, particularly every day.
Well, if you're not used to it, it's even harder because, you think, my goodness me.
The sun is beneficial in so many ways, not just for the vitamin D, but just for our mental health in general. We like to see sun in the sky. We like clear days. We like warm days. We like nice blue skies, right?
Yeah, exactly. And the thing, it's funny because even if it's overcast to a point, even if there's a little burst, a little respite when the clouds go away, you go, oh, it's brightened up. And, it's you have brightened up.
And you smile
exactly.
about it.
And you've brightened up. It's not just the sky.
Too true.
You say, suddenly things have cleared up, but it's our heads that have cleared up because we're happier.
That's right. And funny enough, we've had a very bad start to this year, 2024, weather-wise. And last year, apparently, has been the wettest and most overcast on record. So between last year and the start of this year, the weather has been really, really bad. And for me, obviously, weather is very important because anyone would suffer some mental health. You do tend to focus a little bit more on the weather than most people because you want those good days.
Yeah.
And I would generally, to make myself feel better, would always look at things. I look at the map. What's that on the weather map?
Forecast?
The weather map on the phone. Which one is it? A Google thing or whatever it is? It's rubbish anyway. It doesn't really give you a good, accurate forecast. But anyway, I usually look at that. I think, what's it like for the next few days? And I think, it doesn't look so good. So to make myself feel better, I would usually compare it to Ireland, where I live in Tipperary, or Thurles. And believe it or not, the weather has generally been better there for the last few months. And and so it made me more miserable. They're actually getting better weather in Tipperary, where I used to live, and I moved to the UK because the weather was so bad, and now I'm here in worse weather and the weather's better there.
Go to India, I tell you what. But I tell you, the funniest part about all that is, you say you lived in very bad weather and you came from better weather. I came from great weather.
Yeah.
And I came here and I was like, oh my God, is this it?
Yeah, well, there you go. The article is very apt for you then. You definitely, you're getting your vitamin D anyway.
I am,
so that's okay.
It's
So you have another article for us,
yes,
Indiraa?
I do. Let me just try and open this thing up. It's always a challenge for me. As you know, I'm not great with...
Not savvy, you're not laptop, you're not tablet savvy. Well, but tablets again.
Oh dear.
Is that a vitamin D tablet you've got there?
Hang on, because I've come across some tax guide. No, that's not it.
Tax guy? Tax guy's after you, is he?
Tax guide. Okay. Okay. Here we go. If you would rather lay in bed and rot, you may be experiencing this lesser known condition. Okay, here we go. Okay, a confession. I haven't felt myself since 2020. I am less creative. I'm less energetic. I'm less excited as I was once in my life. Of course, it's understandable. I lived through the pandemic. I lost my family members. My life shifted dramatically in a very short space of time. Now I'm just tired a lot. I do want to see people, but not for too long. The second I get home, I go to bed, I lie there, I watch TV, I scroll on my phone, and I just kind of exist. Sometimes this kind of rest is essential.
Is this a self-confession, is it?
No, this is what this person's saying. But
okay.
honestly, it sounds so much like me when I went through a pretty bad patch, and fortunately, I've come out the other end, and I feel
re-energized.
Absolutely, I feel like I've got so much to look forward to in my life,
And you have.
and I've been fairly successful in my work. So why I felt I was useless, I'll never know. But this is it. I was quite happy to lie in my bed and watch the crime channel all day, and the news, which is depressing. Sometimes this kind of rest is essential. Our brains and bodies need to recover from the multitude of demands made on them. We need to be able to sink into our familiar comforts and recharge. This has been described as bed rotting on TikTok. Sometimes, though, it is a cause for concern. It doesn't shift a recharge that never fully makes 100% recovery, a spiritual and physical exhaustion that can't be shaken off. It's sometimes that Adam Grant of the New York Times described as the neglected middle child of mental health. It's called languishing.
Languishing, there we are.
What is languishing when it comes to mental health? To learn more about this phenomenon, I spoke to a clinical psychologist, Dr. Daniel Glazer, from the US therapy rooms about what languishing is and how we can recognize it in ourselves and the ones close to us. Glazer said languishing is a sense of stagnation where motivation and purpose wither. When life becomes repetitive and unpredictable for too long, it's common to feel uninspired, restless, and uncertain of what brings you joy or meaning. That's true, really. With structure and excitement lacking, it's understandable to feel that you're just going through the motions aimlessly, losing your zest for existence. This definitely rings true of both the early days of 2020 lockdowns and even now, years later when the world is almost back to normal, but not really feeling it. Of course, everything takes time, and even if we're slowly coming to terms with the events of the past few years, it still takes time to get past that and stop our minds and bodies from being on pause. However, Glazer warns this can be harmful for us in the long run. He said while occasional periods of drifting can be normal, extended languishing takes you further away from the vitality and renewal that comes from purposeful existence. Over time, the sense of just drifting can erode one's passion and sap the joy of being. This is so true. This is ringing a lot of bells. It's not quite depression. It's not sadness. It's certain kind of emptiness that can feel endless at times. However, Glazer has good news for me and fellow languishers. There is
fellow languishers.
Yeah, there is a way out of this feeling. How to stop languishing and get back to being yourself. Glazer said the good news is that there are myriad ways to regain momentum and lift languishing's fog to find clarity and revitalization. The redirecting your focus towards small, achievable goals that stir your creativity, growth, and curiosity. You can re-energize your mindset. Small, achievable goals. I think I can do that. Not quite writing a novel, I hope to by now, but instead a poem, a short story, and in my case, a song.
Yeah.
It's possible, I think. Glazer added, simple changes awaken fresh inspiration, learning new skills, taking on fulfilling projects, introducing a variety to your scenery and social connections. When you stir up your everyday routines, you invite in renewed energy, motivation, and direction. Staying static leads to stagnation. Changing course leads to islands of revitalization where you rediscover your passion and your joie de vivre. Your joy for life, anyway.
Va-va-voo.
Yeah, Vavavoom, yeah. We like him, Terry Henry. These don't have to be big things. Glacier recommends trying a new hobby, planning a trip, and making you maintain essential social bonds, whether that's through video calls, volunteering, or even
Back to the
plans with
social
friends.
connection again.
Yeah.
See?
Finally, he says that we need to ensure that we're looking after ourselves, saying, and don't forget self-care. Here we go again, but self-care, very important. Prioritize sleep, that's number one.
Absolutely.
Nutrition, exercise to fuel you with energy and pursue meaning. So there you go. That's another... I always seem to come back to exercise. You always come back to sleep.
Yeah. Sleep and exercise.
Yeah. As long as you're not languishing, remember.
Yes, exactly. We don't mean the languishing club. Is there a members club, a languishing members club? Is there a link there we can get?
I don't know. There could be a languisher.
Jessica Languisher?
Languishologist.
What was she?
Jennifer-
Murder, She Wrote?
Yeah, that's right.
Jessica Languisher, yeah.
No, that's oh, bless. She's passed away, hasn't she?
She has. So basically, it goes back to the fundamentals. It's your social connection, giving yourself routine, having structure in your life, a sense of purpose.
And trying to find little new things to do, like rather than the same old, dare to be different for a change.
Yeah.
I love eating rice, and last night I decided I was going to have bulgur wheat, and I got very excited about the fact that I was
boulder wheat.
Yeah,
You got
I
bold
got
and had
very
boulder
excited that I changed my.
Yeah.
It
But
is,
good to
honestly.
introduce new things, of course. Take small steps in your life and just do things gradually. Gradual steps. Everything has to be done like that. But obviously giving yourself like a motivation to do things, to stir up that fire in your belly to do things. That's very important. Like, so you do need that structure and routine.
And also, when you get into a habit of certain things, like in my tennis days, if you had told me in those days that I would not play tennis again, I would have thought you're bonkers, because my whole life revolved around whether I was going to be number one or not, And
Yeah.
Now I know I cannot play due to certain injuries, and I've found other ways, and I'm happy. Other ways of exercising, because I love exercise.
Other ways to fulfill yourself as well, of course.
Exactly, but I thought that that was what I wanted more than anything else, and it wasn't. I had so much more to learn in university, and then after that, and there's so much more out there for everybody. Don't get fixated, and don't let depression make you languish.
You got to reinvent yourself. You can always find something new or different in life to give yourself a sense of purpose, and that's the key thing. That's the key thing. Don't think you were just put in there to do one thing. You're not. You can do absolutely anything you put your mind to do.
You could be languishing and be an insomniac also. It's not about, lying in bed and that's the end of it. No, get out there and let's start doing stuff. Honestly, it's...
As you've shown years ago when you wrote your first album, it's never too late.
It's never too late.
Okay, on that note, now we're going to finish off today on our off topic, which is UFOs.
Oh, we like our UFOs. We
yes.
do. Yes, we do.
It's a very, very, very favourite of topic, so it is. So the last time we spoke about the Pentagon's online reporting tool. So today I have one which is, the headline is Mexican Senate hears testimony on extraterrestrial life. And the conclusion was, we are not alone.
I'm so excited. I love this.
Okay. Mexican senators have heard testimony that we are not alone in the universe and been presented with the alleged remains of non-human mummies in the country's first official event on extraterrestrial life. At a Senate hearing on Tuesday, lawmakers were shown two shriveled bodies. That was my previous girlfriend's. They were showing two shriveled bodies with shrunken heads. Definitely, yeah, okay. Won't into that. Alongside video footage of unexplained anomalous phenomena by Jamie Mossoon. Okay, that's what I'm interpreting.
You're going with that.
I'm interpreting it. Yeah, a sports journalist turned UFO enthusiast. Good on you, sir. Mossoon said the remains were more than 1,000 years old and belong to non-human beings that are not part of our terrestrial evolution. It's the question of all evidence, Mossoon claimed. That is, if the DNA is showing us that they are non-human beings and that there is nothing that looks like this in the world, we should take it as such. You should see some of my friends. Other studies have suggested that mummies, which were found in Nazca, Peru in 2017, are fraudulent.
No.
That's the previous one. Tuesday's hearing was organised by Sergio Gutierrez Luna, a lawmaker from the governing Morena Party and aspiring governor of the state of Veracruz. Oh my God.
You always get the tough ones. Maybe I should have read that one.
Yeah. It included participants from around the world who made calls for transparency and international cooperation. Mossoon suggested that Mexico could become the first country in the world to accept the presence of aliens on the planet. Gutierrez Luna said that Congress had not taken a position on the theories put forward during the hearing, but stressed the importance of listening to all voices and all opinions. The event was inspired by the US congressional hearing on the same topic in July, in which the retired Major David Grush alleged that the US was hiding a program to retrieve and reverse engineer UFOs. The Pentagon has denied its claims. I wonder why.
The person who was one of those people's name is Luna. That's apt, isn't it?
It's very, very apt. And they're going to eventually say lunar tick. You know
No. I was thinking in terms of Luna as in myth.
Yeah, of course. But now they're going to say it's a lunatic.
Yeah, well, that too. No.
In media interviews, Grush has made even more
you're making
outlandish.
these names up.
Wait,
It's
be quiet.
terrible.
Grush has made even more outlandish claims that the US government has in its possession the bodies of dead pilots, okay, and a flying saucer.
Roswell?
That could have been you. I mean, you often throw things out the window, right?
Yeah, but the Roswell?
Okay. No, this is flying saucer found in Italy by Mussolini almost 100 years ago. That's interesting. I didn't know about this.
I know someone who bought his palace, by the way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Should we ask him about this flying saucer?
Well, he did, honestly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nonetheless, the congressional hearing was a sign of the increased respectability of a field once seen as the reserve of conspiracy theorists. Well-known politicians such as the Republican Senator Marco Rubio have pushed for more. Yeah, Rubio, you know, have pushed for more disclosure. And in 2022, Barack Obama told CBS that the government had footage and records of objects in the skies that we don't know exactly what they are. We can't explain how they moved, their trajectory, but we know they're there. Ooh.
See, I love Obama. Now I've got another reason to love him.
Yes.
He's
the man.
He's the man.
He's the man. Oh, so I think that's given me a little bit of energy to open the curtains and look into the skies.
Do you know what? Honestly, I just want to be that person who finds that thing on the farm. You know, I just want them to come and land on my farm. There's so much land out there. Why can't they pick my farm?
Yeah, well, there is so much land to land on.
Exactly.
And they'll get fed because you feed everybody who comes to the farm, right? There's a load of reasons why they could come to the farm. And there's spare bedrooms.
This is true.
Yeah, and they'll get a hug, right?
Yeah, they get a hug. Oh, I want to be hugged by an alien.
Yeah, of course, maybe someday. Okay, folks, so I think it's been Another great pleasure talking to you all with myself and the wonderful Indiraa. I hope you've enjoyed this show. I hope maybe that we've obviously what we recited from the articles, maybe you learned something, given you some useful information. And as always, the links will be in the show. You can refer to them and obviously look everything up yourself and maybe pronounce some of these people's names, guys, girls.
Or tell us how to do it.
Or tell us how to do it and maybe get back to us and maybe come on the show and do it for us. Who knows? So,
and remember, you are not alone.
You're not alone. Well, folks, on that note, that's where we're going to leave it for today. Hope you've enjoyed the show as much as we have, and we look forward to bringing you more of the latest news and hot topics surrounding mental health on our next show. Remember, new episodes of the Mad Podcast drop every Sunday at 6 p.m. Episodes are available to listen to on Spotify, Apple Music, and of course, the Musicians Against Depression website, an online toolbox that contains a wealth of information, essential reading, and links relating to mental health. As always, if you or someone you know would like to join the conversation, either in studio or remotely, email us at musiciansagainstdepression@gmail.com or visit the MAD website at www.musiciansagainstdepression.uk for further info. All links, including social media, are provided in the show notes. And remember, no problem in life is insurmountable, and help is just a conversation away. Until the next time, from myself and the wonderful Indiraa,
Take care.